We're back, guys. Farmhouse Holistics here. So we have client Jennifer McGee. She's actually my wife. She is our holistic nutritionalist, and we're going to go into the neck work today. So the neck work is going to kind of base off of the shoulder work as I did on the last clientele. But so Jenny, my wife here, she's a nutritionalist. She spends a lot of time on the computer researching different amino acids and all these cucumbers and zucchinis and all sorts of stuff, and a lot of time with pen and paper writing out meal plans and prepping and detoxing. There's a lot of crap that she does computerized and sitting down. So her neck, I notice, and so she's right-handed, so her posture kind of goes like this. So she crunches this shoulder in and brings this neck down. So we're going to go real quickly on how we're going to resolve that issue. Now, like I said, the neck work, you have to start with the shoulders first. So you got to base everything off of the shoulders because the neck is supported by the shoulders, obviously. The shoulders are a much bigger muscle than the actual little tiny neck muscles. So we're just going to go over this real quick now. So we warm up all of the shoulder muscles, the traps, getting it going, and just off of the first immediate glance, I can feel this knot right here. We got a golf ball in this right side upper trap. So we want to kind of work it, get it going, loosen it up, get it rock and rolling a little bit. I like to use a lot of myotherapy, which is the Greek word for movement is myo. So I move the muscle and I strip the muscle. Move it and strip it. It allows it to relax without having to hurt it and beat it up too bad. So if you can imagine the right shoulder being crunched forward and the neck coming in, we're going to try to go the opposite direction. We're going to bring the right shoulder back and the neck up. So first off, I'm going to bring it back. Oop, and we got a big pop right there just from doing that one little motion there. So we're bringing it back, and at the same time, I got my hand cupped like this, trying to get my angle there. So this arm is coming underneath the front of the shoulder, grabbing the pec where it meets the shoulder here, and the deltoids and the scalenes, and I'm kind of just pulling them out. So we're rolling it and we're pulling it. Rolling it and pulling it. And we're going to do this for a long time, but just for demonstration purposes, we're just going to do it real quick. Once you get it warmed up, we're going to give this a little more press and a little more pull. We're just slowly working it until that shoulder relaxes to a normal state. Keep working it back, working it back. And like I earlier said, her main problem is the right shoulder, but you don't want to leave it uneven. So we got to go back, do the same to this side. Once again, we're just going to cup it on the front of the shoulder, just catching right here, right where the muscle meets the bone, rolling it out, rolling it out. So we got that set, and now we're going to kind of survey the scene as far as the upper neck goes. Upper neck is not too bad on her. I think most of her problem is probably the shoulders. But like I said, we're going to go over the neck. So we're going to, when we're face down, we're going to kind of work it. We're just getting the blood flow going, just getting it ready to do the real work. And at the same time, we're still working out all this trap muscle, all these big muscles in the back of the shoulders. The trap muscles are huge, and they do a lot of work, and they hold a lot of tension, so you have to put a lot of muscle into these. So we're just working them out, getting it ready to flip over and do the fine tuning of the neck. Now, anybody that presents with the neck problem, I like to do a little elongation. So I'm taking the right hand and I'm cupping it right at the base of the skull in the occiput. And I'm taking my other hand, making a nice solid fist, and putting it right where the SI joint is, where the lower lumbar meets the hip bone. And I'm going to push and pull. And that's just elongating the spine and releasing the occiput up here, where my right hand is. And I'm just going to hold it, and it's a very gentle pressure. You're not trying to be Hercules here. You're just gently pressing, kind of rolling it. Now you're going to roll the opposite direction. It might be kind of hard for you to distinguish that my arms are moving in the opposite direction. But I'm doing it like this. I'm going pull and push, almost like a bow. Pull and push in, just getting the spine to relax and elongate. And this is another thing that just tells the nervous system, okay, it's time to relax. Let's get some work done. Okay, so we got that done. Now we're gonna drape her back up. And we're gonna flip on over when I say so. Easy does. Okay, flip on over. Good.
Mm-hmm.
So with the neck is the most sensitive area of the whole body. It's sensitive meaning the muscles are small, you can easily overwork them. And if people have blood clotting issues, you have to be very careful because you obviously have the carotid artery coming through here and going straight up into there. And if you get too aggressive in there and there is a clot, it's bad news. So you got to be careful with the neck. You can't just go in there and start cranking on it. So right now, all I'm doing is I'm just working the back of the muscles through the posterior neck up into the occiput. We're getting it ready. And with her, so the opposite of the right side crinkle is left side extend. So that's the ball game. That's where we're headed today. So we're gonna roll the neck. We're getting a little bit of stretch onto these scaly muscles right here. And this is where I was talking about, you have to be careful with that carotid artery and blood clotting issues. So you have to just be real gentle here. And we're rolling it, and you can feel as you're stretching the muscle and you're gently working it, it will start to relax. We're just smoothing it out. We're not doing aggressive like I would on the back or the hips, the shoulder. It's nothing like that. Neck is gentle. You're putting a lot of attention to where the neck muscles meet the head, up into here. There's a lot of attachments up there. Attachments are generally where your body's going to hold the issues. So we're just working it out, slowly but surely. We're going to roll to the other side, just to even it out. Same thing. We're stretching it while we're smoothing it out. Nothing drastic here. I like to move the head a lot too, and I just really get into it. Movement is key, because that's going to tell you where the body wants to stop moving so properly, and that's where you got to put your attention. So here, you feel it's got a little kink, and it doesn't want to fall this way. So boom, you can feel the knot. As you start to put a little pressure onto the muscle, the knots kind of pop up. It tells you, boom, right here, here's my roadblock. Let's hit that roadblock. So we're kind of rolling it around, smoothing it out. Now we're going to stretch a little bit. So ideally this would take me at least 15-20 minutes, but we're doing it for demonstration purposes, so it's really quickly. So let's just imagine this is 10 minutes down the road and we've worked it all out. Now we're going to start stretching. So with the right hand we're cupping under the shoulder and grabbing the front, good solid grab. And the left hand we're coming underneath the head, grabbing on the bottom of the occiput, and we're just gently pulling. Just stretching it out here. Nothing too wild, a gentle stretch. We're going to do the same to the other side. Push and pull, same procedure. And for the final stretch, which is going to be key for the computer arm, this one right there, we have to go the opposite. Now you have to be very careful when draping this for obvious reasons. So with the computer arm, I'll give you a very detailed procedure. So when you're like this, these muscles are contracted all the way up into the neck. Pretty much this position. So we have to go the opposite of that. So we got to take the arm out, lay it flat, and stretch out like this. I'm gonna have to kind of move my camera real quick, guys. There we go. That's perfect right there. So the right arm, palm up, coming down. We're stretching it out as we're putting a little pressure right here. Getting it to stretch first on the shoulder, and then we'll engage the neck. I'm gonna move the camera just a little more. Now we're doing all three at once. neck, shoulder, arm. This is the mother load. It can be very painful for a lot of people. And you have to be gentle with it. So after you get that, I like to do that about halfway through. Then you're going to come back and you're going to smooth it out again. You don't want to leave anything unsmoothed. At the very end, you want to smooth it, especially being neck muscles. And for the final icing on top of the cake, we're just going to do an occiput hold. So the occiput is the base of the skull, and you're scooping under it, and you're just putting a little pressure right there. And that, the main goal of that is to separate all the tissues that hold your skull to your spine. And that one allows the blood flow to go through your head, and two, the cerebral spinal fluid to go up through the foramen magnum into your spinal column. So it's very, very important. So you gotta hold that and just pull on it. And this takes a long time. It takes a really long time. And that's gonna be it, guys. Thanks a lot.